Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you for all your great work. Thank you to everybody that's been part of this organization who's here tonight. And in just one moment, we have a very special award to give to one of our collaborators and cooperators and persons who has been with us for some time, the John Proctor Award. John Proctor, one of the founding members of Denver Justice and Peace Committee. First, I just want to amplify a little bit on what I said before. People feel like we have achieved something in this last election. Obviously, it's not perfect. Obviously, there's much, much more to do. But I made just a few quick notes here to remind us about some of the things that we have done in the past. And sometimes it seems like history repeats itself, right? What happened in the 1980s? People came together. People were opposed to the deportations that were going on of Central Americans. The first Unitarian Church had a committee, social responsibility committee, where we had lawyers coming in and we would have seminars and things like that. We would have consultations with clients. And I was one of the interpreters during that period of time. It's kind of like we come full circle. And back even in the 80s, people with Denver Justice and Peace Committee were saying, well, Denver should be some kind of a sanctuary city. Why do people have to be deported? And now we find out that on the front of the city and county building, what do we have? It says, Denver loves immigrants. I don't know if anybody's seen that down there, a big sign on the city and county building. And you know, the Christmas lights are up now, so maybe they took it down. But it's just something that we need to remind ourselves that the action, the grassroots movements that we have created going back 20, 30, 40 years are still bearing fruit. More and more people are conscious of the world and what's going on around us and are taking an effort to change those things. Yes, so since 2016, what have we seen? We've seen some positive achievements electorally. I think that there are some lessons quickly that need to be learned. Number one, in Colorado, everybody was concerned about the right-wing media. I think we should still be concerned about the right-wing media because there is a total blackout of any ideas about good things about immigrants, about good things about progressive politics. Anywhere you turn on the radio, you cannot find anything except for the same disinformation that we get from Fox News. But they cannot determine the outcome of elections. In Colorado, the victories that were resounding for the Democratic Party, who I have criticized frequently for a number of reasons, and many of us have, but at least we're looking at some alternatives that we have today that we can talk about, and some very positive things that could come of having better government in Colorado. In addition to that, I think it's important to recognize that there is a group out in Colorado that's called the Working Families Party, or the Working Families Program. I don't know if you've heard of them or not. One of the reasons I know this is because I work as an interpreter with the Service Employees International Union, SEIU. SEIU sent thousands of volunteers out around the metro area and around the state, and they were leafleting and knocking on doors saying, come on, we got to get people out for this election. It's a life or death matter. And people got out and people mobilized. So there are elements of a Working Families platform. I'm not going to go into that in great detail, but I just want to let you know that it's out there. You can do a search on it. And nationally, what are the lessons that we should learn? Count every vote. Count every vote. No candidate should concede until all the votes are counted, and we're seeing that right now in Arizona. We're seeing that in Florida. We're seeing that in Georgia. Now, these things can affect Latin America to a greater or lesser extent. They certainly can affect the way immigrants are treated here, the way deportations are slowed down or that don't happen, because we have more progressive politics that are emphasizing human values as opposed to corporate values, and as opposed to the hypocritical fear-mongering and to the immigrant scapegoating that we saw in this last election. All right, so having said that, I think that we really have an obligation to engage people, talk to other people respectfully, even if they don't agree with us, but to bring out these questions. Do we vote our values? Do we live our values or not? That's why you're here. You're living your values by being here with Denver Justice and Peace Committee. Okay, I would like to invite to come up to the microphone Harriet Mullaney, Elliott Williams will be coming up because we have the Member of the Year Award for John Whitson. Elliott, yes, anda. Up. Elliott's carrying the water there. Very good.
Hey everybody. So for those of you who don't know me, like Jack said, my name's Elliott. I'm on the board of directors here at DJPC. And I'm here to introduce our Member of the Year, who is, where are you, John? Okay, yeah. So John was born and lived his early years in Texas. After escaping to Colorado, he attended CSU where he met his wife and later graduated from CU Denver with a bachelor's in philosophy. He went on to be a substitute teacher for about 10 years, where he first got some exposure to a broader sample of life. This included short spells teaching at a closed juvenile detention facility and at the Denver Indian Center, which informed and expanded his perspectives on education and on schooling. After moving on from teaching and a few years at, in his words, an uncomfortable job with a large brokerage house, he returned to school again in 2007 to pursue a master's in nonprofit management at Regis. John currently works for the state dealing with unemployment claims. He has 2 exceptional daughters and 5 grandkids. His connection to DJPC started when he was working on his master's at Regis. Upon engaging with DJPC, John quickly recognized that this was a place that hit the right notes with him: compassion, inclusion, nonviolent action, and as only John can put it, we've been stuck with him since. John served on the board for 9 years and was an active member of all the various DJPC committees. His deep commitment to the immigrant population in Colorado led him to serve as DJPC's representative to the Colorado Immigrants' Rights Coalition. Per our board chair, Lynn Holland, John has always been both a leader and a supporter. Depending on what was needed, he's willing to stand up and speak at the events when called on, but hold back when someone else wanted to do the speaking. More recently, John has been a consistent presence at DJPC actions, including the Newmont shareholders meeting last spring, numerous occasions at Senator Bennett's office, and the action against open pit mining in front of the Capitol just this past September. I was fortunate enough to have some crossover with John when I first joined the board in 2014. Anyone who knows John knows the humor and the humility he brings to all his interactions, both of which are sorely needed in these trying times. According to longtime board member Steve Piper, John is a fighter, but in a humble manner. Tough political issues don't get him down, he just keeps working harder. If you don't mind, I'd like to close with a letter to the editor that John had published this year in the Denver Post. It was written in response to Denver establishing an immigrant defense fund. Here's the letter. Thank you, Denver, for your continuing support for immigrants. Our country was founded by people looking for a better life. Those who are trying to build a peaceful life, to raise families, and to contribute to their communities deserve our support and encouragement, not harassment from politicians seeking to place blame and create hatred. Our country was for many years a haven to those fleeing oppression, tyranny, and hardship. Our country was made rich by those seeking freedom to worship in peace. People fleeing famine in Ireland or persecution in Eastern Europe built cities, schools, and communities. Our country has been the place where the huddled masses yearning to breathe free have found freedom, a new home, and peace. Thank you, Denver, for working to ensure that we will not turn our backs on those who will continue to make this country great. It's my honor to present the John Proctor Member of the Year Award to John Whitson.
both. Any of you who've been stuck listening to me at a salon know that handing me a microphone and an unlimited amount of time is a pretty big gamble. First off, I would like to say thank you. When Lynn called me to ask if I would accept this award, I was blown away. I was speechless. Look around. There are giants in this audience. If you look at this table over here, for instance, we have Harriet, we have Catherine, we have Connie, we have Margie, Patrick, Steve, Crooch, Gabriella. These people are my heroes. I hope that I live long enough to be worthy of their respect. We should all hope that. Clearly, we've got a good jump in some cases. We have Luna running around here someplace. We have Lily running around here someplace. If you ever doubt the power of this group to do good, take a look at Luna, take a look at Lily. It doesn't get much better than that. And again, thank you, thank you, thank you. And no, I'm not going to shut up. I'm going to say this in the way I consider to be most appropriate. And it won't be much longer. ¿Por qué estamos aquí? ¿Por qué hacemos este trabajo? Porque la mujer de edad avanzada en el autobús cada noche que limpia las oficinas de los ricos, ella es mi abuela. Porque la chica embarazada, sin un esposo, sin educación, sin dinero, ella es mi nieta. Porque el hombre sin papeles que quiere trabajar para apoyar a su familia, él es mi primo. La niña sin zapatos, frío y hambre, ella es mi hija. Porque todos los desamparados, los pobres, los inmigrantes, los indígenas, ellos son mis hermanos. Somos una familia. Somos mi familia. Cada hombre es mi hermano. Cada mujer es mi hermana. Cada niño es mi niño. Ninguno debe vivir sin esperar. Somos una familia. Somos una gente. Somos unidos. Si se puede. Gracias. Gracias. Gracias.
Gracias, John. Gracias. Muy bien dicho. Perfecto. Muy bien hecho. Yes. An excellent presentation, and all the people that John was referring to in Spanish are part of his family network. The people that clean the offices, the children that are poor and without shoes, some are his grandchildren. They are part of his family. This is part of a family of people that we relate to. We see them, they are immigrants. We see them in our office buildings at night. We see people on the streets. We see people gathering out at Park Avenue and 23rd. As I walked down to the courthouse to interpret, gathered out on the corner there, waiting to get a ride or somebody wanting to hire them. These are part of our family. And we should not ignore them. We should not buy those ideas from corrupt and unprincipled politicians that these are people that are trying to invade our country. These are people that we don't need here. Some of the ugly comments that you saw during this last election, saying that they were cockroaches and other things like that. Disgusting, disgusting. But we have to engage people and we have to interact with people and show them that this is the wrong way to show the image of our country and our community. Thank you, John. Congratulations, by the way. So, compañeros y compañeras, I like to say that because I can say that freely here with all of you, that we are brothers and sisters in a good, long struggle and a lot of work that we do together. So when we see each other, no matter where it is, come up and say hi. Sometimes you won't even remember my name or somebody else's name, but you can say, I know who you are. I saw you at DJ PC's awards ceremony or whatever. So let's keep this connection going, this network of contacts and of love that we are showing here tonight. Well, the love that coming from Guatemala tonight is from Jose Gomez, and we're going to have his organization presented to us, and he's going to talk about the activities that they are creating and engaging in right now in Guatemala, like many other indigenous groups, many other working groups, peasant groups around Latin America who are struggling to defend their water, defend their land, defend their rights to organize. And so without any further delay, I want to have Harriet Mullaney come up. Harriet, thank you. And Jose will be with us in a minute. Don't forget the silent auction friends right over there on my left. Sign your name and tell us how much you're willing to give for that particular piece of artwork or gift or whatever it is that will go to benefit Denver Justice and Peace Committee.